Welcome to Superpower Academy. My name is Pamela and I'm so excited to be here with all of you today. At Superpower Academy, we know that there will always be trouble in the world. So we're constantly searching for great kids to invite to join our super secret Society of Heroes in Training. And we found you and are inviting you to join us today. If you are brave enough, we have sent you a secret mission which you must complete in order to earn your first superpower. And today, we'll be earning the superpower of mind reading, which is perhaps one of the most powerful superpowers you can have. Some people like to refer to this superpower as having empathy. So let's open our box together. Oops. And you should have received a postcard, which we can read together, sent to you by the Koi, who is mentor to all super secret heroes in training. You should also have received a comic book, a packet with a number of transparencies, a super fun activity book, which we'll take a look at in a little bit, and a bunch of other things to build. Finally, there's a little magazine for your parents if you want to catch them up on what it means to be a superhero. So let's start with a postcard sent to us by the Koi, who is the mentor to all superheroes in training. And the Koi says, "Dear Cadet, are you ready to earn your mind-reading superpower and help others? To read another's mind, you must imagine what they are thinking and feeling. We received a message from the trees. They are in trouble and need your help. Are you willing to use your mind-reading superpower to lend a hand? If you are, turn this card over for your secret missions. Good luck and always be super, the Koi." So let's turn the card over and see what the Koi asks us to do. Your top secret missions are: first, you have an adventure mission. Read Macho Mike's Mucho adventures. Will Mike and his friends discover the reason for Rosie's roars? I wonder what that means. I guess we'll find out. Once you've gotten to the end, read the comic again with the transparencies to discover a brand new story. Then we'll have a make mission. Do the super fun activity by building a seedling planter. Will your seedling grow into a big and beautiful miracle tree? Finally, you have an imagine mission. Use your mind reading powers to imagine what life is like from another point of view. All right, well, let's get started. Enjoy this reading of Macho Mike's Mucho Adventures, More Than Meets the Eye, with our very own Honolulu Theater for Youth. See you in a bit.
Macho Mike's Mucho Adventures, More Than Meets the Eye. Meet Macho Mike.
What's up? I'm Mike.
Every day, Mike and his friends would discuss the meanest things they could imagine.
Fire-breathing dragons are the scariest.
How about villainous villains?
Tyrannosaurus Rex is the biggest and scariest beast ever. It will eat us alive.
Agreed.
We'd be food for sure.
Later, Mike and his friends were walking home when they heard a loud noise.
That sounds scary.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
When they reached the top of the hill, they could hardly believe their eyes.
It's gonna eat us.
Run for your life. Why are they leaving?
They ran straight to school without looking back.
Can you believe it?
We were almost eaten.
At lunch, all they could talk about was the mean and hungry T-Rex.
It had huge teeth. It looked hungry.
After school, they came up with a plan. As they walked home, they kept their eyes peeled and listened. They ran up the hill, took aim, and fired!
Take that, mean T-Rex.
You'll never eat anyone ever again.
That night, Mike couldn't stop thinking about the T-Rex. Something didn't add up.
T-Rexes eat people, so why hasn't this one tried to eat us? Why is it always in the trees?
Mike decided to stop thinking his own thoughts. Instead, he closed his eyes to imagine what the T-Rex was thinking. Its eyes were sad. Its mouth was crying. Its roar sounded like it was in pain. Then he did it. He read the T-Rex's mind.
It doesn't want to eat us. It needs our help.
The next day, Mike and his friends met up with their slingshots ready to find the T-Rex. But today, Mike wasn't so sure. They heard the familiar roar.
Get it!
Stop! It's not what we think.
Mike was nervous, but he walked slowly towards the T-Rex.
Mike, no! You'll be eaten alive!
Will you please help? I can't reach the splinter.
But won't you eat me?
Why would I eat you? You wouldn't taste very good.
But we all thought T-Rexes eat kids.
Not me. I'm a vegetarian. I much prefer trees.
Why were you roaring at us?
Roaring? Those weren't roars. These flowers make me sneeze. That's why you kept running away. It made me sad.
I'm Mike.
I'm Rosie Rex.
Hey guys, come meet Rosie. She won't eat us. She needs help.
Mike convinced his friends to put down their slingshots.
1, 2, 3. Oh no, we're late for school.
I can help. Jump on.
That day, the boys had the coolest ride to school. And they visited Rosie every day on their way home.
Hi, Rosie.
We brought you yummy ferns.
The koi heard how Mike helped to save Rosie and came to visit.
To help another, you must know their mind. Then the solution will be easy to find. Congratulations, you did it. From now on, you'll be known as Mind Reading Mike.
What did you think? I'm so glad that Mike and his friends figured out what was going on with Rosie before they made a really big enemy. In fact, by using their mind-reading superpowers, they were able to make a really cool new friend. Now let me ask you a question. As you are listening to the story and following along with Mike and his friends, did you notice anyone or anything in the story that might have been in harm's way? Perhaps this someone or something couldn't speak up for themselves, but they were really the victims of the story. I'm going to ask you to pull out your transparencies that were in your box, and we'll read the sticker on the transparency together. It says, once you have read the comic, place the transparencies over pages 2, 3, and 4. Then read the story again. What do you discover that was there all along? So let's open our transparencies together, and I'll show you how to use them. So I'm going to take the transparency that's marked for page 2, and I'll open my comic book. I'll find the second page, and I'm going to lay the transparency right on top. Now, if you look close enough, you can see that there are all these trees in the background of the story. They were getting stomped, they were getting eaten. At some point, they even threw out splinters to try to chase everyone away. Now, I'll let you go through and read through the transparencies yourselves, maybe with mom and dad if you need some help. But let's take a look at a few of the boxes and see what kinds of things the trees are seeing quietly. And no one was there to listen. Did you notice the trees in the background as the kids were using their slingshots to throw rocks at Rosie? What do you think the trees might have been thinking?
Human kids are so noisy. Why can't they be more like seedlings and just swaying quietly in the breeze?
Ow, stop! Why should we throw those rocks? They hurt! What have we trees ever done to you kids?
When the kids were running away and Rosie was feeling sad, what do you think the trees were thinking?
This is ridiculous! We've got to get this dinosaur out of here! You think these splinters will work?
The splinters might do the trick. She's got one in her foot and has been roaring about it for days. Maybe she'll get the hint and go munch somewhere else,
While Mike was using his mind-reading power to understand what Rosie was thinking, it doesn't even seem like the trees crossed his mind.
You noticed all the trees in the background? If you stopped to think about us, you would realize that we're in trouble. This pink T-Rex keeps eating our branches. We're the ones who need help.
When Mike and his friends figured out that Rosie didn't like to eat kids and was really a vegetarian, how do you think that made the trees feel?
That's right! She only eats things that are green and leafy, and unfortunately none of you are green or leafy.
Mike, no! You'll be eaten.
What do you think the trees had to say about Rosie being a vegetarian?
Apparently this dinosaur only has an appetite for veggies. Bummer for us trees who are just minding our own business.
We are delicious, but we need our leaves to collect sunlight so we can grow. You also keep stomping on our roots. Ouch! We can't continue building a forest in these conditions.
Did you notice the trees who were getting stomped and trampled and eaten in the background of the story the whole time? The trees did, however, send us a letter, which we included in your fun book because we thought you should see it. Let's read it together. Dear Cadet, the trees need your help. We have been minding our own business for hundreds of years. Then, this pink dinosaur shows up. It turns out she is a vegetarian and she has been feasting on our leaves. We've tried everything to get her to leave, but we are just too delicious. We are in trouble. It is our responsibility to make sure the planet has enough trees, but we can't raise our seedlings in these conditions. They might get stepped on, or worse yet, become dessert. Will you help us by raising our seedlings? They need water, sunshine, and someone to keep them safe. They look small, but they might grow into a magnificent tree one day. Maybe they will be a new home for birds or provide a shady spot for you to sit. They have been on a long journey. Give them lots of love for us. The future of the trees is in your hands. Sincerely, the trees. And in your box, I believe the trees have all sent you their seeds. And it says, we all want to be a great big tree. Will you make it so by helping us grow? So let's see what Mike and Rosie have to say about this. Yikes, Rosie says. We never stopped to think about how our actions affected the trees. We want to help. Let's build a cool planter for these little seeds so they can grow. So let's help Mike and Rosie build a nice home for the trees to raise their seedlings. And also keep in mind, are there things that you're doing in your life that might be affecting something or someone else who can't speak up for themselves? How might you learn to listen and read their minds to find out what is really going on? So I've invited my kids, Riley and Kellen, to help show you how to build these cool little planters. So let me introduce them to you now. I've invited my kids here today, Riley and Kellen, to help us build our planters. Hi, Riley. Hi, Kellen.
Hi.
So the first thing that they're going to do is open their seedling container. And they're going to take their seeds out. Show us the seed. Show us the seed. Take their seeds out and put it in a little cup of water to soak. Perfect. Perfect. Next, take some water and pour it inside your containers to hydrate your soil packets. Once you've done this, you can put the lid back on the container so nothing spills and set it aside while you assemble the rest of your planter. Now it's time to open your packet of wooden pieces. Just like Riley and Kellen, you can lay everything out in front of you so you can get a sense for what you have and you know where everything is. Let's take a closer look to watch how they build their planters step by step. First, Kellen is going to show us how to build the base of the planter. Take both sides, they're identical, so make sure the pattern is on the outside, and fit your black saucer into the spaces of the sides of the planter. Now find the piece with the square cut out, and with the lightning bolt up so it's visible, gently work it into the spaces of the two planter sides. Just like Kellen, you'll have to do a little bit at a time as you ease the piece into both sides. There's no rush, just take your time. Job. Now find the bar with the two cutouts and fit them into the back of the planter to hold everything together, just like Kellen is doing here. Finally, take your square pot and place it in the square hole of the planter. Alright, that's our planter base. Now that our base is done, it's time to start working on our planter face. So you can set your base aside and find your sticker sheet. Now you can apply your stickers to the pieces that have the same outline, making sure that you line up the small triangle with the small triangle on the piece. Do the same for the round piece, again making sure to line up the triangle and the circle on the sticker with the triangle and the circle on the wooden piece. Now, we're going to ask Riley to show us how to assemble the faceplate of our planters. Riley's going to take the 4 small pieces and assemble the axles. So take one piece of each type and fit them together so that the flat pieces are all on the same side and your axle can stand up on the table. You should have 2 axles once you're finished. Next, take the blank base plate and lay the 2 blank pieces, one that looks sort of like a sun or a star, on the left side of the base plate, making sure to line up the small triangle and the circle with the small triangle and the circle on the base plate. Now take the circular piece, looks a little bit like a quotation mark or a comic bubble, lay it on the base plate, also lining up the small triangle and the small diamond. Now take your circle stickered piece and put it on top of the star or sun looking wooden piece, making sure to line up the triangle with the small triangle and the circle with the small circle. And take one of your axles and fit it through all two pieces, and then place the two pieces onto the base plate so everything is aligned. Take your time, this may take a little bit of fiddling, but it'll fit in there nicely. Next, take your other stickered piece and fit it on top of the question mark or the quotation piece, making sure that the diamond and the triangles are aligned. And just like the other assembly, fit the axle to connect the two pieces and lay it on the base plate. It should sit nicely in the second hole. You've created your ratchet and pawl system. The point on the right piece will move the left piece every time it makes a full circle to keep track of the weeks as each 7 days goes by. Make sure the two arrows or triangles are pointing at each other so that you start on day 1 and week 0, and find the small final bracket piece to hold the faceplate all together. Congratulations, all of your assembly is finished. Great job. And our planters are finished. Okay, so Riley and Kellen now are going to take their soil packets, open them up. Kellen, open your soil packet up. And let's see, yep, hold it up. Yep, so show how you put it back. Put it in your pot. It's big, it's in your pot, good. Now break it apart, make the soil nice and loose in your pot. So just fluff the soil from your soil packet so that it's nice and soft and loose. And we have some seeds that we germinated earlier. You can either decide to germinate your seed by soaking it in water and laying it in a wet paper towel, or you can just try planting it straight into the dirt. So Riley and Kellen are choosing their best seeds now and placing them nicely and gently in the dirt, and then they'll cover them up. Okay, and then let's see, hold it up when you've got it. Let's see in there, Kellen. Seeds ready to go, your seeds ready to go. Okay, and then turn it around. Let's put the sandwich on the counter so we can keep track of our seeds' growth. So just like Riley and Kellen, place your face plate in the notches of the planter base. You should just rest there nicely. And then you can turn your dial, just like Riley's doing here, to keep track of the days and weeks that your seed has been growing. Well, thanks Riley and Kellen for showing us how to build our seedling planters. We wish you the best of luck as you grow your seeds into big, beautiful trees. I'm so glad you were able to work with Riley and Kellen to build your own planters. And as Riley showed us, be sure to keep track of your seed's growth. Every day, you can turn your dial. And once you reach 7 days, your ratchet and pawl system will change the week, so you can keep track of how long your seed's been growing. Can you believe with a little bit of patience and sunshine and water, this seed might grow to be a big, great tree one day? So the seeds we gave you are miracle tree seeds. And in a lot of cultures, they believe that the leaves of the miracle tree are indeed magic. Some cultures use the leaves to make tea. My family likes to put the leaves in our chicken soup when we're not feeling well. Some cultures call them moringa or moringai. If you'd like, you can actually replace the seed in here with a seed of a plant of your choice as well. Now, as your seedling grows, I want you to use your mind reading powers to think about what kind of experience your seed is having. What might your seed or seedling have to say to Rosie and Mike? Perhaps you can write a letter on behalf of your seed or your seedling. What things do you think will happen during your seedling's lifetime? What might your seedling have to say to you? You can think about something from your seedling's perspective. And you can keep track of your seedling's growth here on this chart. Now, it might happen that your seed may never sprout. And sometimes things don't always go our way. So we've got a little chart here for you to think about, what if my seed did not grow? Sometimes it might be something we've done. Perhaps we forgot to water our seed. Perhaps we didn't put our seed in the sunlight, we just forgot. Or it might be something that was outside of our control. Perhaps it was a seed that was never going to grow. Or perhaps the seed got sick. Or perhaps it was just too hot, or there wasn't enough sun. So oftentimes it's good to think about, what might I have done different? Or was there really anything I couldn't have done different? Maybe it was just something I couldn't have helped. And you can always try again with the second seed we gave you, or with another seed of your choice. Finally, if you love taking care of the trees, we'd love for you to read this book with your family if you haven't done it already. It's called The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, and it tells a story of what might happen if we don't look out for the trees, especially because trees don't have a lot to say, so it's for us to keep an eye on them. And as you take care of your seedling and you use your newfound mind reading superpower going forward, always look around you and think about what you might be doing or what others might be doing that impact some things or some people around you that you might not have even noticed. And maybe it's for you to speak up for them or to look out for their behalf because they can't do it for themselves. So we hope you've had a great time earning your mind reading superpower with us today, and we can't wait to see you next time with your next Superpower Academy secret mission. Until then, take care and always be super. Bye!